The next day, to pay Mr. Tweet back for the frog, Mrs. Tweet put some worms in her husband's plate of spaghetti.
The worm didn't show because everything was covered with tomato and sprinked with cheese.
Hey, my spaghetti is moving.
It's a new kind. It's called squiggly spaghetti. It's delicious. She took a mouthful from her own plate, which of course had no worms.
Mr. Treat started eating.
It's not as good as the ordinary kind. It's too squishy.
Mrs. Tweet waited till Mr. Tweet had eaten the whole plate. Do you want to know why your spaghetti was squishy?
Why?
Because it was worms.
To pay Mrs. Treat back for the worms in the spaghetti, Mr. Treat thought up a really clever, nasty trick. One night, when the old woman was asleep, he crept out the bed and took her walking stick downstairs to his workshop. There he stood a tiny round piece of wood, no thicker than a penny, onto the bottom of the stick.
This made the stick longer, but the difference was so small. The next morning, Mrs. Tweet didn't notice it.
Every night after that, Mr. Tweet crept downstairs and upped another tiny thickness of wood to the end of the walking stick. He did it very neatly, so that the extra bits looked like part of the old stick.
Gradually, Mrs. Tweet's walking stick was getting longer and longer. But it was all so slow and gradual that she didn't notice how long it was getting, even when it was halfway up to her shoulder.
One day, Mr. Tweet said to her,
That stick's too long for you.
Why, so it is. I've had a feeling there was something wrong, but I couldn't for the life of me think what it was.
There's something wrong, alright.
What could have happened? It must have suddenly grown longer.
Don't be a fool. How can a walking stick grow longer? It's made of dead wood, isn't it? Dead wood can't grow.
Then what on earth has happened?
It's not a stick. It's you. It's you that's getting shorter. I've been noticing it for some time.
That's not true.
You are shrinking, woman.
It's not possible.
Oh yes, it is. You are shrinking fast. You are shrinking dangerously fast. Why, you must have shrunk at least a foot in the last few days.
Never.
Of course you have. Take a look at your stick, you old goat, and see how much you've shrunk. You've got the shrinks. That's what you've got. You've got the dreaded shrinks. Mrs. Tweet began to feel so trembly she had to sit down.
but when she did, Mr. Tweet pointed and shouted,
There you have it. You are sitting in your old chair, and you've shrunk so much. Your feet are not even touching the ground.
Mrs. Tweet looked down at her feet, and sure enough, the man was right.
You see, every night, when Mr. Tweet has stuck a little bit extra onto the stick, he had done the same to the leg of Mrs. Tweet's chair.
Just look at you sitting in your same old chair, and you've shrunk so much. Your feet are dangling in the air.
Mrs. Tweet went white with fear.
You've got the shrinks. You've got them bad. You've got the most terrible case of shrinks I've ever seen. Mrs. Tweet grew so frightened, so she began to tremble.
But Mr. Treat, still remembering the warmth in his spaghetti, didn't feel sorry for her at all.
I suppose you know what happens to you when you get the shrink.
What? What happened?
Your head shrinks into your neck, and your neck shrinks into your body, and your body shrinks into your legs, and your legs shrink into your feet, and in the end, there's nothing left but a pair of shoes and a bundle of old clothes.
I can bear it.
It's a terrible disease, the worst in the world.
How long have I got? How long before I end up as a bundle of old clothes and a pair of shoes?
At the rate you were going, I'd say not more than 10 or 11 days.
But isn't there anything we can do?
There's only one cure for the shrinks.
Tell me. Oh, tell me quickly.
We'll have to hurry.
I'm ready. I'll hurry. I'll do anything you say.
You won't last long if you don't.
What is it I must do?
You've got to be stretched.
Mr. Treat led Mrs. Treat outdoors, where he had everything ready for the guest stretching.
There are 100 balloons and lots of string.
There was a gas cylinder for filling the balloons.
There was an iron ring fixed into the ground.
He pointed to it and said,
Stand here.
he tied Mrs. Trick's ankles to the iron rings. When that was done, he began filling the balloons with gas.
Each balloon was on a long string, and when it was filled with gas, it pulled on its string, trying to go up and up.
Mr. Treat tied the end of the strings to the top half of Mrs. Treat. Some he tied around her neck, some under her arms, some to her wrists, and some even to her hair.
Soon there were 50-colored balloons floating in the air above Mrs. Tweed's head. Can you feel them stretching you?
I can. They are stretching me like mad.
He put on another 10 balloons.
The upward pull became very strong. Mrs. Tweed was quite helpless now. With her feet tied to the ground and her arms pulled upward by the balloons, she was unable to move. She was a prisoner.
Mr. Treat has intended to go away and leave her like that for a couple of days and nights to teach her a lesson. In fact, he was just about to leave.
When Mrs. Tweed opened her big mouth and said something foolish.
Are you sure my feet are tied up properly to the ground? If those strings around my ankle break, it's goodbye for me.
That's what gave Mr. Treat
His second
nasty
Idea.